Good morning, everyone. Thank you guys for jumping on our webinar this morning. Today, you're going to see an overview of the fastest growing real estate brokerage in history ×3, and what is by far the best opportunity for real estate professionals in probably the last 20 years. We have a special guest this morning, Mr. Pat Hays from San Antonio, Texas. Pat is a real estate professional who's been selling homes for about 5.5 years. He's been with eXp Realty for about 3.5 years, and during that time has built an expansion team of about 1,300 real estate agents. And Pat, about how many states do you have your team built out in?
Yeah, so I'm actually in 38 states and 3 Canadian provinces right now, and growing.
So, yeah, I love it. So we're really honored and excited to have Pat here this morning. So Pat, the floor is yours, my man. Thank you for being here today.
Awesome. Well, thanks for the awesome introduction, Joseph. Again, welcome, guys. I'm Pat Hays here, coming live from San Antonio, Texas. Happy Halloween. Thanks for joining us. And yeah, guys, you're getting ready to see an introduction to eXp Realty. And real quick, a little bit about myself. Just like Joseph said, I've been in the real estate industry here in San Antonio for about 5.5 years. I started my career at a boutique brokerage firm, and my first year as a single agent, I did about $3.2 million in production. And at the time, the only way for me to leverage myself was to become a team leader and start a team. So my second year, I became a team leader, hired 2 buyers agents, and we as a team did 12.5 million, 61 transactions that year. Really found my my passion for real estate, and also for helping the consumers with the largest purchase of their lifetime, which is their homes. And so having a great time in real estate, being very successful here in San Antonio. And I actually got a life-changing phone call about 35 months ago from my mentor and sponsor here in San Antonio, Scott Lewis, for me to have an open mind to take a look at a new business model that was changing the way agents were compensated and also disrupting the real estate industry. And I'm so glad that I did have an open mind, and I asked our special guest on here to have an open mind to take a look at this amazing business model. And so fast forward, I've been with eXp now for about 35 months. And I've personally sponsored 32 agents. Out of those 32 agents, just like what Joseph said, I've built a revenue share organization, which I'll get into, of over 1,300 agents spanning 38 states and 3 Canadian provinces. And so this opportunity has truly changed my life as a realtor. And we just got back from New Orleans last week at our eXp Con. And I'll tell you what, the stuff that I learned is definitely makes me and validates that I'm actually at the best brokerage firm out there that a realtor can be a part of. So let's get started. So an introduction to eXp Realty. So what are we going to cover today? We're going to cover who we are, our business model, our eXp world, eXp solutions, and then joining eXp. So who we are, how we made it here today. So this is actually the founder and CEO, Glenn Sanford. And actually, whenever I had the chance to actually meet him in person about 2 years ago, sat down and actually had breakfast with him. And this is probably one of the smartest and brilliant, guy that I've actually ever met. This guy is a very, very tech guy. And I know a lot of you guys have heard and remembered the company called AOL. Well, back in the early 90s, he was actually a big contributor of that success of that company of AOL. And he was actually generating online leads back in the early 90s. And so he actually had a friend actually approach him and say, hey, you know what? You're such a technology savvy guy. You're actually able to generate online leads in the early 90s, which was unheard of back then. He actually got approached by another guy and said, hey, why don't you get your real estate license? Let's team up and let's start building real estate teams all across the country. And so within about 4 or 5 years, he actually was using the model of Keller Williams to actually build teams all across the country. And so at the peak of his career in real estate, he had about 5 expansion teams all across the country using the Keller Williams model. They were doing about $60 to $70 million in production. Well, what happened in 2009? The crash came, 2008, 2009. He couldn't afford to keep the lights on of his offices of the brick and mortar all across the country. So he actually founded eXp in 2009 during the crash. And so we are the first and only cloud-based brokerage firm. And so again, here's a timeline of events. In 2009, that's whenever eXp was founded. In 2013, eXp World Holdings becomes a publicly traded company, which is huge, and I'll get into. I had the pleasure of joining EXP in December of 2015, and actually that next year, EXP Realty actually triples in our agent count. And then also in 2018, we hit a big milestone this year, and we actually got uplifted to NASDAQ, in EXP World Holdings joins EXP or EXPI is our ticker symbol, and we joined NASDAQ, trading with the big boys with our stock. So we'll get into the stock in a little bit. So again, explosive growth. So just to kind of share with you guys some numbers. Whenever I joined EXP almost 3 years ago, we had about 800 agents nationwide. And at our conference last week, they just announced that we're hit 14,500 agents, and now we just opened West Virginia. So we're in 50 U.S. states in 3 Canadian provinces, growing at about 15 to 1,600 agents every single month. So as Joseph said in the beginning, we are exploding, and we are the fastest growing brokerage firm with our growth. So EXP Realty has a lot of core values, beliefs that shape our culture. And just to name a few here, we've got service, we've got sustainability, we've got collaboration, we've got transparency, integrity, innovation, agile, fun, and community. And I'll tell you what, my favorite one here, guys, is fun. I'm having the most fun in my real estate career at EXP. The real estate industry is tough. A lot of nights, a lot of weekends, a lot of holidays, missing out on family events. I was on that treadmill 35 months ago, just grinding. Didn't even know what an exit strategy was. And now that I'm actually building a massive exit strategy for myself, I love real estate, but I do not want to be 85 years old putting a sign in the front yard and the lockbox on the door, because I didn't take advantage and align myself with the company that is truly disrupting and changing the real estate industry. So that being said, I'm having so much fun, and I get to share this opportunity with like-minded individuals like yourself all across the country. So our business model, we have a very, very unique and different business model. And so, we're definitely innovating in the brokerage, real estate space here. So everybody remembers Blockbuster. I always kind of like to tell the story, whenever I was in elementary school on a Friday night, we would go down to the local Blockbuster down the street from my parents' house and go rent a movie, get some popcorn, and go back to the house and watch that movie. Well, what happened? Technology came, and Netflix put out the Blockbusters. And so now that building where that Blockbuster used to be is actually now a med clinic now, because all the Blockbusters are belly up. They're going out of business. Circuit City was a great a great store to go buy electronics. And so whenever I was actually graduating high school in 1999, actually before I went off to college, I went to Circuit City to go buy a stereo for my dorm room. Well, now Circuit Cities are not around anymore. What happened? Amazon came and actually put out a lot of that space, and so you can order anything on Amazon and actually shows up within about 6 or 7 hours on your front doorstep. And so again, technology changed that industry with Amazon, and so EXP is actually doing that in the real estate brokerage space. And so we're definitely changing the way EXP is changing the way agents are compensated and how we run our business. And so we are one brokerage. We are not a franchise. And so we're one brokerage in over 350 MLSs all across the country. And so you can see on the left side of the screen, the typical franchise model, it's dead, it's going away. And so the typical franchise model, it's very costly. There's a lot of overhead for that franchisee owner. Locally confined for the agent attraction. You've got territories, you've got space that you can only work in and attract agents in. Inconsistent growth incentives, limited technology and support. Move over to the right-hand side of the screen. EXP is truly disrupting and changing the way we sell real estate. And so, and I'm going to go through these, but I want to read them off here. So we've got a cloud campus environment that no one else has. Live training, real-time support of over 300 full-time staff members at our office in our EXP world. International collaboration, and my favorite, it's changing lives, and it's truly changed my life, is the powerful equity opportunities with the revenue share and the stock, which I'll get into. So let's jump into this. So our cloud campus environment, again, I do travel, I do a lot of presentations. I take my laptop with me, guys. That is my office. Okay, I don't have any desk fees at my old brokerage firm where we're at. I actually had to pay $350 a month every single month to have access to the brick and mortar, which my team and we did not use. So I don't have to pay that anymore. So again, I can work from anywhere that I'm on the on the road. And I like to use this example every single summer, my family and I would go on a beach vacation for about a week to a week and a half or so. At my previous brokerage firm, I would be out of the loop. I would miss all the meetings. I'd miss everything. With EXP, since we are the first and only cloud-based agent-owned brokerage firm, I can take my computer with me, log in, listen to all the team meetings in our EXP world, and still not miss a beat, even on vacation. So again, cut the overhead of the brick and mortar costs. We don't have any expensive leases all across the country, which is very costly, to the brokers. And again, we're paperless. We have a paperless transaction system, which I'll get into. And again, we have a ton of training and a ton of support there in our client office. So speaking of live training, every single Sunday as an EXP agent, you actually get an email mapping out all of the training classes, anywhere from 25 to 35 hours of free live training every single week. And so it's actually broken down per day, broken down per class in our EXP world. And so absolutely amazing, and a ton of training, and this is free. A lot of agents out there are spending a lot of money on the training. Well, the reason why is because the brokers have to charge the agents something so they can actually cover the cost of the brick and mortar. Since we don't have the cost of the brick and mortar, we're actually able to give back to our agents and actually be able to help them become a better, realtor, and give them free live training. Wouldn't you want to learn from Brent Gove how to build a successful real estate team? Brent Gove is a massive team leader that came from Keller Williams. He's been at EXP for about 2 years now. He's in Sacramento, California. He does about $125 million a year in production with a team of 22. And he's been running a team like that for about the last 15 years. Wouldn't you want to learn from him of how to become a team leader and how to grow a massive team for free? Wouldn't you want to learn from Darren James? Darren James is the #1 realtor in all of Louisiana, based out of Baton Rouge, that sells about 500 to 600 homes every single year. Wouldn't you want to learn from him how to take 20 to 30 listings every single month? That's the type of training and more. Again, we've got sales and listings, presentation, lead generation workshops, social media training. Wouldn't you want to learn from some of the top realtors in the country how to grow a successful business? And so you can actually do that. And that's, again, live every single day, Monday through Friday in our cloud office. And again, real-time support. I've got a lot of agents asking me, well, Pat, this is a great model, great concept, but where's my office? If I don't have any, if I don't have an office, where's my support staff? We have over 300 full-time support staff members in our cloud office Monday through Friday, ready to help you. Again, there's the hours right there, 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern time for you. We actually have a new broker that just rolled his whole entire brokerage firm into EXP, based out of Baton Rouge, and he actually does a live training class, Real Estate 101, in our EXP world every single Sunday at 8 p.m. Central Time. This last Sunday, I think we had over 325 realtors attending a training class. You don't see that anywhere. You can't go to a brick and mortar brokerage firm on a Sunday at 8 o'clock and see a training class being given with over 300 agents attending there. You just don't do that. We actually offer that, and we can actually offer that to you, and you can attend that and invite other agents in as well to see our training classes starting on Sunday nights. International collaboration. This is awesome. We have a very attractive business model, and so a lot of the team leaders love our business model because they can actually build teams all across the country without having to be licensed in those, in each of those states. So we have a lot of actually luxury agents that are bringing their teams over because they want to start teams in Florida, in California, in Chicago, and a lot of the luxury markets, and they can actually be a team leader with one single cap of $16,000 and actually have their buyer's agents or their associates on their team in those other markets at a half cap of $8,000. And so it's very beneficial for them to be able to use our business model in our platform to run their teams all across the country. Also, we have you can benefit from a very powerful referral network. I get a lot of referrals. Other agents from EXP send their buyers and sellers that are here in San Antonio, and we send a lot of referrals back and forth. You actually have a workplace Facebook group of referrals of other agents just sending referrals back and forth. And so we have a very unique business model that's very attractive to a lot of the big team leaders bringing their teams over to EXP. So the powerful equity opportunity, again, we are uplifted on NASDAQ, trading as our ticker symbol EXPI. And so how awesome would that be to acquire stock and build wealth for already doing what you're doing, selling real estate? And again, so how does that work? So you can actually earn shares of stock on your first transaction that you do whenever your cap resets every single year. You can also earn shares of stock whenever you fully cap. What does that mean? Whenever you sell your $2.66 million in real estate every single year, you can actually get awarded shares of stock for being a successful agent. Also, you can actually earn shares of stock whenever you sponsor and attract an agent to EXP and they do their first transaction. Since we are agent owned and agent grown, the agents are the one out there growing this company. We don't have any corporate recruiters out there paid hefty salaries growing EXP like other companies out there. Okay, and so we actually get awarded for helping grow this organization through stock and through revenue share, which I'll get into. Also, it gets even better. We have an Icon Agent program, and I'm actually on the Icon Agent Vetting Committee. What does that mean? A lot of the agents that are doing a lot of production can actually get their $16,000 cap back that they paid into the company back in company stock. And so you're a successful agent, you cap, you do another 20 transactions, so you pay in another $5,000 in transactional fees to the company. You can actually go through our vetting process and actually become an Icon agent and receive your $16,000 cap back in the form of company stock every single year. We've got agents that have done this for 2 and 3 years, and they have acquired a ton of stock that is worth a lot of money. Okay, so just to kind of give you an example, whenever I joined the company, the stock was a little penny stock. Everybody laughed at me, said it wasn't worth anything. We were trading at 62 cents a share. 35 months down the road, we actually get uplifted to NASDAQ, trading at $10, $11, $12 a share. We have gone as high as $19 a share, okay? So it's a very healthy stock. It gets even better than that. We have an agent equity program. It's kind of like a little 401k, as I call it. Agents are self-employed, you know, they're 1099 employees. We don't have W-2s, and so we don't have 401ks. But EXP is going to allow you to kind of build a little 401k, as I call it, because you can actually enroll every single transaction. You can take 5% of your commissions and buy the stock at a 20% discount every single transaction. And this right here, this is actually how I've been able to acquire close to 18,000 shares of stock in the last 35 months. I'm building equity. I'm building an exit strategy through stock. And so I can't get this anywhere else. There's no other company. There's a lot of other great companies out there, but I can't go to another brokerage firm and actually acquire stock like I can at EXP. So we have an AAC. It's called our Agent Advisory Council. It's made up of 12 EXP realty agents, and you can see their pictures on the far right-hand side. And so this actually, this is the voice. Since we are agent owned and agent grown, they actually, they're the voice for all the agents. And so we do have a board members. We have a board of directors, and we have several agents on the board of directors. And so whenever something, a big announcement or a big change is going to happen, they actually run everything through the AAC, and it's the voice for all the other agents out there. So a lot of great agents, and actually my sponsor down below, the blonde-headed lady, Tracy Lowe, she's actually my sponsor here in San Antonio, and she is one of the awesome agents on the AAC. So the revenue share. So this is, again, what is changing agents' lives. And so again, you know, I like to use this example of, you know, Keller Williams. Keller Williams is a great company out there. They have that profit sharing model that is paid 7 levels deep. We have a revenue sharing model because we don't have a lot of the heavy duty expenses of the brick and mortar. So the agents that want to help us grow will be compensated in revenue share. You do not have to do this, but why wouldn't you want to do this? If I could help you earn an extra $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a month in passive income from the revenue share, would that change your life? Absolutely. I was doing a presentation live here in San Antonio that I do every single Friday, and it's the exact same presentation here. And I got to this point, and I asked my special guest to raise their hands, and I said, if I could help you generate an extra $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a month in revenue share, would that change your life? And I had a Coldwell Banker agent raise her hand at the back of the room. She said, Pat, if you could help me generate an extra $500 a month in revenue share, that would change my life, because that would get rid of my car payment. I said, oh my gosh, that is so easy. She's been on board with us for about 3 months now, and she's already exceeded that $500 a month in revenue share. So how does it work? So you sponsor an agent, you bring somebody to a webinar, you bring somebody to a lunch, you get the opportunity in front of them, they take a look at it, they said, wow, this is unbelievable, it's a game changer, it's a no-brainer, I want to join. So you actually end up sponsoring them. Well, how does it work? So you can actually earn up to $2,800 annually, again, annually, every single year, whenever they're successful, okay? So you can actually earn up to 3.5% of the gross commission of every single transaction that they do until they cap, okay? So on your first tier, you actually earn up to $2,800, but it gets even better than that. Say those agents say, wow, Pat, I want to do exactly what you're doing. Absolutely, you can do that. And we're going to help you do that. And Glenn Sanford, the founder and CEO of EXP, built a beautiful business model through the revenue share, because you actually get awarded more on your second tier for helping out those agents on your first. You can actually earn up to $3,200 annually for each agent that you sponsor, okay? And again, here's an example right here. So we are paid 7 tiers down, and the numbers right there in the middle, that is the maximum potential of the revenue share per capping agent on those levels. Again, they don't have to cap, and then you get paid. You get paid a little percentage of every single transaction, depending on what tier they're on. You get paid a little bit of each transaction until they cap, okay? And on the far right-hand side, we have personal qualifying agents that can that unlock those different tiers. And so, and again, you know, you attract one agent, you unlock tier 1. Then you go get 4 more, you get a total of 5. You unlock tier 2. Go get another 5 more, you unlock tier 3. Go get another 5 more, you unlock tier 4. Another 5 more, unlock tier 5, and then another 5, unlock tier 6, and then you get 40, you actually unlock tier 7. So I have personally introduced 32 agents to the company, and so I have unlocked tiers 1 through 6. And so just to kind of give you an example, I got a revenue share this month for the month of October of like closing a $1.8 million house at 3% commission. Do the math right there. $1.8 million house at 3% commission. That is for 1 month's revenue share for personally introducing 32 agents to the company in the last 35 months. Out of those 32 agents, I built a revenue share organization of actually 1,350 agents spanning 38 states in 3 Canadian provinces. Absolutely unbelievable, life-changing. You know, it's kind of, I use this as an example. It's kind of like a little insurance, you know, policy. You know, what to, you know, ask yourself, you know, when was the last time that your brokerage paid your mortgage payment, paid your car payment? What would happen if you got sick or got into an accident and you were laid up in the hospital for 2 or 3 months and couldn't sell real estate? Ask yourself that. Would you be out of business? 99% of realtors would be out of business because they don't have enough saved, they don't have an exit strategy, they don't have something that would pay them monthly residual income like our revenue share plan does. Truly, truly life-changing, truly unbelievable. So our EXP world, you know, definitely transforming the real estate industry and our experience as agents. And so we are, you know, cloud-based. And so again, you can see the computers there. You know, we've got our EXP world on our computers. We have an app actually on our mobile phones too. So EXP, you know, is definitely changing the way that agents do real estate. And so here's a little example here. So we are little avatars in our EXP world. And so I'm going to start with the far right-hand side, the large-scale meetings. That's actually our auditorium in our EXP world. And so for me in Texas, I'm here in Texas, we have our Texas team meeting every single Tuesday at 9 a.m. And we have a lot of our leaders there, a lot of our brokers, associate brokers there leading our meeting. Also on Fridays at 10 a.m. Central Time, we have our annual or our weekly meeting as well there too. And so this is where a lot of the top leaders, a lot of the top agents get announced for moving over to EXP. This is where a lot of the leaders get up there, talk about our agent growth, talk about the new things that are coming. And so that is actually every single Friday at 10 a.m. Central Time for me. We also have daily trainings. Again, that is what I was talking about earlier. You can actually pop in there, take a look at the calendar of events for that day. Team collaboration. We have a lot of big teams giving up their brick and mortar offices to actually use our EXP world to to conduct their business and run their teams and run their meetings there. Also, at the very top, we have our real-time support. Again, like I was saying, we have over 300 full-time staff members in our cloud office Monday through Friday, waiting and willing to help you out if you have any questions. Also, we have specialized departments. If you have a question about agents, coming on board, we have agent services. We have transaction coordination rooms. We have accounting rooms. Whatever you need, that's where you go and get all of your help, is actually in our eXp world. So I want to play this short video real quick for you. It's about a minute long, but this is a little example of being an avatar in our eXp world. Agents all across the country right there collaborating. There's agent services. If you have any questions about an agent being onboarded, there's our auditorium right there. That's where our leadership meetings are held every single Friday at 10 o'clock. Team meetings are held there, depending on what state you're in. Again, agents all across the country collaborating. They're not on a conference call. They're not in a live meeting. They're actually in our eXp World office collaborating, and agents are all across the country. Powerful technology. So, all right, so our eXp solution. So, tools for, for all the agents. Again, a lot of agents ask me, well, if I do this, what type of tools are you going to give me so I can, be successful, be a successful realtor? Well, we're going to give you a ton of tools. And so let's go through these, one at a time. So our first one is my favorite. And this is our eXp Enterprise. And this was actually built by eXp. This is not a third-party company. eXp actually built this for the agents. And so this is actually where you actually get to see all of your numbers. Agents are all about their numbers. You can view all of your details, your commissions, when am I going to cap? How many more transactions do I need until I cap? How much stock do I have? And also your revenue share. And again, this is, real time, and this is all provided to you by eXp. And so this is actually the backbone, as I call it, to your business. And so I'm in this, all day, every day, taking a look at the new agents that are coming on board to my revenue share organization, calling them, welcoming them, taking a look at my performance. When do I cap? How much commission have I made? How much revenue share have I earned? How big is my revenue share organization? How many agents have I personally sponsored? So everything is here for you. It's called our eXp Enterprise. SkySlope. This is awesome. This is actually our transaction management software system, which is very, very, very user friendly. And so this is whenever you upload a document, this is actually starts the transaction. And so again, you can sign documents digitally. This is your business. You run everything through SkySlope, and then again, that triggers the transaction, and our transaction coordination staff will actually jump in and start reviewing all of the contracts, all of the documents for your transaction, for your closing. So Workplace by Facebook, this is awesome. And so everybody has heard of Facebook. And so we have our own little Facebook within eXp. We have over 800 groups there. And so this is actually how we collaborate. This is how eXp collaborates and actually communicates with us. And so this is where, they do a lot of live videos. You can view old team meetings. If you miss a team meeting, you can actually go back and listen to the recording. If you miss a Friday leadership meeting, you can actually go back and listen to that as well too. So this is awesome. A lot of agents use it, and it's very user friendly. So CRM and lead generation systems. I know a lot of you probably have not heard of conversion or KV Core or anything like that. They're very, very, very expensive lead generation software systems outside of eXp. They would cost you about $1,000 setup fee in anywhere from about $600 to $800 a month. And so we actually give this to you for $50 a month for you to generate massive amounts of buyer and seller leads through landing pages, through squeeze pages, through posting to Craigslist. And so this is a very, very powerful lead generation tool that a lot of agents love. And a lot of agents are actually joining eXp because they actually are able to get this at a deep discount of only $50 a month. And so very, very awesome platform system. We have a lot of success stories of a lot of agents generating a ton of leads. I'm actually generating, with my team, I'm generating anywhere from about 75 to 100 buyer leads every single week with the software system. So marketing and branding, a lot of agents ask, well, where do I get my cards? Where do I get my signs? Where do I get my listing presentations, my buyer presentations? We have everything in our marketing department. And so as an agent, so whenever you sign up, you actually get your first 1,000 business cards for free. We have a lot of brochures that you can customize it to you and your business. The listing presentations, the buyer presentations, door hangers, different templates, whatever you need to market yourself and to grow your business. Also, your signs, you can order your signs. We have a lot of great vendors that have all of our logos. They can actually help you design signs, or you can actually use a local sign shop, in your own backyard, whatever you want to do. But we have everything there to help you be successful and to grow your business. So joining EXP, become a shareholder. There's a lot of agents out there. There's a lot of brokers. There's a lot of companies out there talking about EXP. And you can see here, there's a lot of great companies here. Inman, Market Watch, Real Trends, the Wave Group. They are talking about EXP in our growth. And my favorite one is the top left, Real Trends. They are saying that EXP is the Amazon of real estate. At the beginning of the presentation, what did I say? I said a lot of companies were getting disrupted by technology companies, and that's exactly what we're doing in the real estate space. So we are known as the Amazon, the Uber of real estate. So again, the fees. Again, no desk fees, no royalty fees, no franchise fees, okay? No desk fees, no royalty fees, no franchise fees. That is huge. It's all about how much money that we put into our pockets and keep in our pockets, okay? So how does it work? So we have a commission split of 80-20 with a $16,000 cap. And again, this is for every agent. No special deals out there. I don't care if you're a brand new agent. I don't care if you're a team leader, or I don't care if you're a broker. Everybody gets the same 80-20 split $16,000 cap, okay? After that, you earn 100% commission for the remainder of your anniversary year. We do have some fees. We do have some monthly fees and some startup fees, okay? It's $149 startup fee, okay? And that includes your first month of your technology fee, and your EXP university fee also includes your $1,000 business cards. So once you sign up, it's $149. That goes away. We have, after that, month 2, we have a $50 a month technology fee, as I was saying earlier, for your technology platforms. And then also we have a $35 a month EXP university fee. That is your avatar fee, as I call it, to get into our EXP world, okay? Also on every single transaction, we have a $25 broker review. As I say it here in Texas, we want to stay out of Trek jail. I'll gladly pay $25 to have my contracts reviewed. We have a $40 risk management fee that is also known as E&O. That also caps at $500 for the year. We have a lot of agents coming to EXP that have been paying a lot of money for their E&O. I was talking to a couple banker agents the other day. She paid $2,000 in E&O last year to her broker. Just gave her a pay raise because now she only has to pay $500. And so again, $149 startup fee. After that, second month, it is a $50 a month tech fee, $35 a month university tuition fee. Those are the fees for the month. And then whenever you do a transaction, 80-20 commission split, $16,000 cap with a $25 broker review and a $40 E&O fee. So production matters at EXP, guys. We are a top-ranked brokerage in the real estate industry. And so you can see a lot of the accolades here of our production. And so a lot of agents say, EXP is just a recruiting company. Absolutely not. We are actually here in San Antonio within less than 3 years. We are the 3rd largest brokerage in regards to production at EXP. And so we are definitely bringing on a lot of big producers that are selling a lot of real estate. And so production does matter with us at EXP. So become a shareholder, guys. That is the presentation. Again, get back with the person who invited you. I know that was a lot of information in a short amount of time, but get back with the person who invited you to this webinar. And we definitely want to answer any questions. And if it's okay, I want to kind of open it up. If you guys have any questions, I want to definitely answer your questions here. But I want to say thank you so much for joining the presentation today. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. It's a life-changing opportunity It's changed my life and it's changing others' lives. I got a life-changing phone call 35 months ago, and now I'm able to reciprocate that and give other agents a life-changing phone call to take a look at our business model. So thank you guys. That is the end of the presentation, but I definitely want to open it up for any other questions. So go ahead. What do you guys think? Any questions?
Hey, Pat, I'm going to share a couple quick comments.
Yeah.
First, I think realtors are asking the wrong questions when they look at brokerages and the business going forward. And the question that I would teach you to start asking is, why aren't you getting paid to hold your real estate license at a company? We go in and say, well, I'm a 100% company, here are the fees, or I'm a split company, this is what you pay. See, I think that as technology is changing the real estate business, we're asking the wrong question. What you should be asking is, how much can I be paid to hold my license at your company? So Pat, you're getting paid to hold your real estate license at EXP, right?
That's right. Absolutely.
So, Joseph, you're being paid, right? You're being paid more than you pay in at EXP, right?
Yes, sir.
And so Jerry's the same way, and so I could open it up. I can't see everybody who's on here. So I want you to start thinking about that question and start thinking about it differently, because, well, I'm that real life story that Pat was talking about.
Yep.
There's a reason James made that roofer joke early on the conversation. About 2.5 weeks ago, I fell off my roof, and I've broken my hip and all kinds of things. And at the end of the day, I won't even be able to take an attempt to walk for at least another 2 months. If you are an everyday producing realtor that had to rely on going out, taking buyers out and listings and doing all those things, but you were unable to, what would happen to you financially? And so while I was sitting in the hospital for 12 days, the good news is, while I was in there, we were earning money that actually paid for the deductible for that accident. What other real estate company could you do that at? Now, I would hope that not as many people would do something stupid like me and go up on a roof in rain, but nonetheless, things happen in life, right?
Right.
How are you positioned to handle something like that if that were to come along? And so I challenge you to start to think about that a little bit differently. It certainly changed my perspective on it, but I would challenge you to start to think about that, because that's just real life. So those are my 2 cents for the day.
I love it. I'm sorry that you had to go through that, but I mean, that is a great story and a great testimonial. 99% of the agents would be out of business.
Hey, Pat, it's Joseph. It looks like there are probably some questions popping up.
Okay.
So we'll unmute some of those folks, but I want to share a couple quick thoughts myself. One thing that I think is difficult for us to explain until it's experienced. One of them is the training. Being in a collaborative environment in the cloud and learning from the best people like you, Pat. I mean, you live in San Antonio, Texas.
Yep.
Any other real estate brokerage that's locally confined or geographically confined, I don't get access and collaboration with you. Here, I get to learn directly from you how you've grown your production, even as a single producer, your first year in the business. So those things are available to us just anywhere we have access to the internet, and it's just really powerful and hard to explain. The second one is the culture and the collaboration. I want to make sure everyone's clear here. Today, we're on with Pat+hays from San Antonio, Texas. Pat, you're probably literally in San Antonio right now.
Yep.
Bob Mangold, you are in right outside of Phoenix, Arizona, right? I'm here in Rancho Cucamonga area, Southern California. And these are the people that I get to partner with literally on a daily and weekly basis. And that's true of a bunch of us in a myriad number of states. And this is the kind of culture and collaboration that doesn't exist anywhere else, because, I mean, I'd love to say that we're all saints. I love you guys. And then at the same time, we have a financial benefit to want to help others grow in their real estate production, in growing their revenue share or their teams. So we have a vested interest in every facet, and a lot of it is extremely sincere, but it's also financial. So we get to go out there and partner with people and lift them up in a way that's not been experienced in the real estate industry, in my experience. And then the final thing I want to say is that absolutely production is important here, because when I came to eXp Realty, I grew my production in my first year here 30% than at my previous brokerage. It was about 32% increased in production. And yet I actually earned, after I did all the costs, 108% of my commissions in the first year. Next year will be dramatically more. And that's because I have focused on growing the team like Pat does, just by adding one sentence to every closing. So just wanted to share those thoughts. Yep. And
I love it, man. That's a great testimonial. And also, I wanted to kind of add to this too, for the guests that are on here I end my lunch and learn every single time I do a live lunch and learn. I end it with this. I say, hey guys, if you don't see this or you don't believe in it, then bring me another business model that beats EXP, and I'll join you guys tomorrow. After 35 months, no one has yet to bring me a better business model that beats EXP. So that being said, I know that I'm at the right and the best brokerage that a realtor can be at.
love it. And it looks like, if I'm not mistaken, Kathy may have a question.
Yes.
Kathy, I am going to unmute you here. Kathy, good morning. You are unmuted, and it looks like you had a question you wanted to ask Pat.
Oh yeah, hi guys. Okay, so when you sponsor somebody, do you have to get to 5 or more, or a certain number before you start earning the up to 3.5?
No, not at all. Yeah, you can sponsor one agent, and that agent can be a successful agent, and you would earn up to $2,800 off that one agent every single year. So that's a great question. But in order to earn the full amount on your second level, then you would have to go and get 4 more for a total of 5 to unlock that second level.
Right. Okay.
Yep,
Thank you.
Yeah, you bet. Yep. Great question. Yeah, you can sponsor just one agent and earn $2,800 a year every single year off that one agent.
Okay. Thank you.
You bet.
Basically, the more you help the company grow, the more you're paid.
That's right.
Think of it in a corporate environment. If you, the more value you brought to your company, they actually paid you more money. Well, we know corporately that's not always the case when you have a JOB, right? But at EXP, you're paid commensurate with the value that you provide or that you bring to the company. And there's no place else in the real estate business that you can do that.
That's right. Any other questions?
Looks like I'm not sure if Sherry has a question. I'm going to go and unmute you, Sherry.
Hey there, Sherry.
Good morning, Sherry. Sherry Kopfis, you there? It looks like you had a question.
Do you hear us?
You're unmuted.
No, she doesn't.
Okay, no problem.
Question.
Is that Mr. Ron? How you doing, buddy?
Pretty good. Pat, it was awesome hearing from you.
Hey, thank you so much.
Yeah, and Bob, it's real good to hear your voice, and Sherry and I wish you the best.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
Oh yeah.
So here's what I'll tell you guys. Definitely get with whoever invited you here today, as Pat mentioned. A couple of things that we would love to do. One of them is obviously answer any and all questions that you guys have. We'd certainly love to kind of play or put together the opportunity, what you did last year in production and what that would have looked like here at eXp Realty, because we absolutely believe in people making great decisions for themselves. We don't want you to come here just because it looks fun. Let's actually dive into the numbers and make sure it makes great sense for you. Bob Mangold helps us with that quite a bit. And Bob, it's pretty incredible whenever we do this with agents, how much money they left on the table without realizing it, because we don't talk about company dollar in the real estate industry. Here at eXp Realty, everything is, there's a light on it all. So you get to see it all and understand how it actually makes sense as now an owner of the company, and how you can be compensated for it as well.
On average, I would tell you folks, even if you're at 100% and you pay no fees, you'll make somewhere between 15 and 25% more money at eXp. I know it sounds crazy, but I've done enough of these calls with agents looking at their existing business to know those numbers. Because again, as I said, the question you need to be asking is, how much can I get paid to hold my license?
That's right.
Hey guys, we got one last question here from Mo Sanford. If a broker comes over with, say, 25 agents, can they keep their same building and put a sign ABC Realty powered by eXp Realty? Is his question.
Yes, yes, and yes.
The correct term is brokered by, but yes.
Brokered by, yep, brokered by eXp. But yes, they can definitely keep their current brick and mortar, keep their, their logo, their branding. They're just going to be brokered by eXp.
Awesome.
Any other questions?
So I guess let's go ahead and wrap this one up. Pat, you're amazing, man. I love that we get to work together. Thank you for coming on here and doing an amazing job. Bob, thank you for the Halloween gift, man. I really appreciate that. And James and Jerry and all of you guys for jumping on. All the attendees, thank you guys for coming and taking the time to just look at this model and understand how it can benefit you. So get with whoever invited you. Make sure to get all of your questions answered. Make sure that we go through the numbers with you. And then let's also go through the opportunity of getting the ICA, because the presentation is awesome. You know, there's a lot of details when you come into a program like this and you become essentially an owner of the company as well. All those details lie in the ICA. So we will walk you through the process of getting that ICA in your hands. I want to wish everyone a wonderful Halloween. Pat, you're welcome to go ahead and close the show because you were awesome enough to come on here, man. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, yep. Thank you guys so much for having me. And again, get with the person who invited you if you have any questions. And I'm here to help as well. So thank you guys. Have a great day. Happy Halloween. And we will talk soon.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Okay. Bye-bye.